This is your math gal, Julie Harland. Please visit my website at yourmathgal.com, where all of my videos are organized by topic. All right, this is part 2 of mixed review problems of finding the exact values of some trig functions. And again, we're going to remember if an angle's on the quadrant, we could use these values over on the left. If we're talking about a 45, 45, 90-degree triangle, remember the 1, 1 square root of 2. And for the 30, 60, 90, we've got 1 square root of 3, 2. So here's the first problem. Sine of 7 pi over 6 over cosine of 7 pi over 6. All right, so we have to figure out both the sine and the cosine here. So let's just draw the picture of where 7 pi over 6 is first. Let's see, well 6 pi over 6 would be right here, so we're going to have to go another little bit. And that's our angle. And that is a 30, 60, 90. I always exaggerate it so it's obvious it's not the 45, 45. So let's see, we've got this side then would be square root of 3, but since it's going to the left, I'm going to write negative square root of 3. This is going down, so I'm going to put negative 1. And for r, I'm going to have 2. So I see my x, my y, and my r values that I need. So the sine of 7 pi over 6 will be y over r, so it's negative 1/2. And the cosine of 7 pi over 6 will be x over r, so that's negative square root of 3 over 2. All right, well, this is a complex fraction. So what you could do is say, well, that's the same thing as negative 1/2 divided by negative square root of 3 over 2, and then multiply by the reciprocal. So that'll give us, oops, this was a negative 1/2. Negative 1/2 times 2 over negative square root of 3. Well, I see the 2's cancel, and let's see, my 2 negatives are going to cancel. So I have 1 over square root of 3. But then I want to rationalize that. So I'm multiplying the numerator and denominator by square root of 3. And so I get square root of 3 over 3. One thing that you might notice is if you look what I had right here before I simplified it, 1 over square root of 3, that happens to be the same thing as the tangent, right? The tangent would be y over x, negative 1 over negative square root of 3, and you do get 1 over square root of 3. And we did in an earlier video, when we first started doing this, we found out that it was true, if we just took the definitions, that sine alpha over cosine alpha, when we took the y over r divided by x over r, we got y over x, ended up being the same thing as tangent of alpha. So it does make sense that if you do the sine of 7 pi over 6 over the cosine of 7 pi over 6, you should, if you do all your arithmetic correctly, get the same thing as the tangent of 7 pi over 6. All right, here's our next example. Cosine of pi over 2 minus pi over 3. Now, pi over 2 minus pi over 3 is in parentheses, so you need to simplify inside parentheses. So how are you going to do pi over 2 minus pi over 3? Well, you need a common denominator. So that's going to be 6. So that'll give you 3 pi over 6 minus 2 pi over 6, which is pi over 6. So basically, this is just saying what's the cosine of pi over 6. You could put a parentheses around it or just leave it like that. And now we're going to look at the picture for pi over 6. And that's about right here. That's the 30-degree angle there. So the square root of 3, 1, and 2. And so the cosine is the x over the r, so that's square root of 3 over 2. Okay, let's see what would happen if we wanted to know what the cosine of pi over 2 minus the cosine of pi over 3 is. All right, so the question is, what is the cosine of pi over 2 minus the cosine of pi over 3? All right, so I'm going to erase this stuff on the right. Hopefully we're okay with that, just so we could see this all on the same page. So I want to get the cosine of pi over 2. All right, so that's up here 90 degrees, pi over 2. So that's 0, 1. So you've got x is 0, y is 1, r is 1. So the cosine will be 0 over 1. That's the cosine of pi over 2. Minus, now what about the cosine of pi over 3? All right, so now we have to look at pi over 3. That's 60 degrees here. And so those values are 1, square root of 3, and 2. And so the cosine is, again, x over r, so it's 1/2. So I have 0 minus 1/2, which is negative 1/2. Notice, not the same. Very important whether you have the pi over 2 minus pi over 3 in parentheses or not. Okay, so be careful. All right. This is your Math Gal, Julie Harland. Please visit my website at yourmathgal.com, where all of my videos are organized by topic.